Hello people of the internet, welcome back to T's Money. I hope you're having a fantastic day. I know I am because it is pay week, and you know what that means. We're gonna do a budget with me, and then tomorrow I'll film a cash stuffing video. I have my nice iced coffee here with me today. I definitely need the caffeine this morning, but let's just get started.
Money is coming to me. Money is coming to me. Money keeps coming to me. Money is coming to me.
Before I really dive into the budgeting, I do want to say that this template is available for free on my Ko-fi. I have 4 different versions available. One that looks exactly like this, one that has blank spots so you can fill in the categories you want, as well as the same 2 variations but in a different colorway. So instead of just the greens, it has more colorful rainbow vibes going on. So I just love this template, so definitely check it out. Today is the 14th, but my paycheck will be coming in tomorrow on the 15th. And it is my bi-weekly paycheck. I was about to put pay week. And my check is for 13. Let me check and make sure I have the correct amounts. My check is going to be $13.58.13, which is a pretty decent sized check. So let's do my transfers first. So right off top, my debt account or my Wells Fargo is going to be getting $400, and that is just my monthly payment towards my credit cards. I do the Snowball method. I've been debating whether or not I want to do a whole video on my credit card debts and my journey paying that off, but while I am very open about my pay and how I spend the money that I do have coming in, I do get a little nervous sometimes. Debt just has such a stigma around it. I hate that it is that way, and I know that my journey would be useful to some because I know I'm not the only one with credit card debt, especially accrued in college. But I'm not to that point yet. So eventually, I think maybe after I pay off my next card or maybe next 2 cards, I do have 3 cards currently that hold a balance. 2 of them aren't that high. The 3rd one is super high, and I'm doing the Snowball, so I'm trying to knock off my 2 smaller balances first, and then I'll do my 3rd big balance. But yeah, I really would love to do content about my debt and just my journey paying it off, but right now I'm just not in the space, I think, to be open. I'm very aware of it. This is not something where I'm in denial. I'm very aware of it, and I'm actively working every single day to pay that debt off as quick as I can. But yeah, if y'all want to see a video like that, let me know. So I have $400 going into my Wells Fargo debt account, and that'll leave the account balance at $800. But I do have a goal of $950 for this month to go towards cards. I've already put an extra $35 in, so is $115. So this is money that I know I need to make up, and I just like notating that so I know over the next coming weeks before the end of the month, this is how much more money I need to put in that account. So that won't be coming from bi-weekly checks. So Instacart, I probably need to do a couple more orders over the next couple of weeks so I can make a little more money to put towards debt. My SoFi account, now y'all, I don't have to pay for my Planet Fitness anymore. Something like so funny happened. One of my old classmates from high school, she works at my gym, and I was going in and she saw me, we were talking, and she was like, let me put you on my family plan. So now my Planet Fitness membership is free, and I only have to pay for my ClassPass, which is $60 a month. I still have my referral credits from last month, so I'm gonna put $30 into my SoFi this week, and I honestly don't even know the account balance on that account. I know that sounds kind of bad, but I just put the right amount in, and it eventually will even out. My subscription's coming out in the next 2 weeks. Okay, coming out in the next 2 weeks, I have Disney Plus at $328. I have Canva Pro at $15. I have my Guilty Pleasure Network, the Zeus Network, at $657. And then that is it for the subscriptions coming out in the next 2 weeks. So that total is $24.85. And then for a buffer, I always like to include the change in there. So I'm gonna subtract. So I have 24.85 plus 30 plus 400 equals 454.85. So I'm gonna subtract that from the total. And I'll let my buffer this week be 50.28. That leaves us with $853 to cash stuff, which is kind of a lot, y'all. I might go back and change some of these numbers, but let's just keep going down and see what I have. So savings challenges, I always like to look in my savings book to see what actually is coming up. And because I have so much money to cash stuff, I'll do one of my highest numbers, which is 45. So the next rainy day that I'll be stuffing is going to be 45. And then 100 envelopes, I'm going to do 100 towards that. I think that's just going to be my new plan every week, is just to do $100 towards 100 envelopes. And then I have my bi-weekly paycheck, which, y'all, I realized that I missed the paycheck, and it was the week that I came back from my birthday trip. I did get paid, and like I mentioned in a past video, I didn't cash stuff that week at all. Like, I was just so tired. I was very out of it, and it was just so much going on. I didn't cash stuff. And my other challenges, if it doesn't get money for a week, it doesn't really matter. I'll just, you know, keep working towards it after that. But this one in particular, because it is like for each bi-weekly paycheck in the year, I'm realizing now that I have to kind of double back to it. This is technically paycheck 8, so I'm gonna start that. And this is the paycheck that I missed, or technically it was paycheck 6 that I missed, but I didn't realize that I had missed it last week, so I went ahead and just did that as usual. So paycheck 7 did get missed, but I don't want to take $80 out of this paycheck to put towards making that up. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'll do 10, and then just over the next 4 paychecks I'll do a plus 10 until we can get to that. So I'm gonna make a note, or actually I'll do a sticky note, and then I'll stick it to the back. So on my next 4 paychecks, I'm gonna add in an extra 10, and that's just to make up what I missed for that paycheck. So I'm gonna put this sticky note on the back of here. I don't think I'm gonna forget that, but just in case, I'll know. So I'll be doing $50 for this takeout. So I like to zoom in because there's gonna be multiple lines. So $50 going to bi-weekly. Minis, and I think I'm gonna do another 50 here. I think that's a good plan. So this is a total of $245 that's going to savings challenges. So let's subtract that from 853, and that leaves me with 608 to budget for the rest of my categories. And I like to start off by doing a count, or okay, for my weekly allowance or my on-the-go folders, I kind of do the same amount every week. So for gas, it's gonna give $50 automatically. Dining out, I'll give myself $5. Shopping, I'll give myself 15. Groceries, I'm gonna give myself 75. Household, I'm gonna give myself another 15, and then personal care, I'm gonna give myself 10. And then let's do a quick count. Okay, and while I'm doing this, I'm gonna do categories. So debt this month is getting 400. Health. Okay, I like to segment down what each category is getting. So my wallet is getting $170 for the bi-weekly period. I'm gonna add education as a category. And then let's subtract this 170 minus 608. Wait, y'all, I hate this calculator so much, but I don't know what's going on with my other one, but it hasn't been working the last few days. Okay, and that leaves $501 for sinking funds. Oh no, my pen is dying. Y'all, it's just so much going on. My priorities this go round are gonna be health, beauty. I want to get my hair done by the end of this month. Investments, education as always, registration, because I have about a month and a half to finish funding my registration, so I want to make sure I have the correct amount by that time. Vacation, because I am going on 2 more trips in the next 2 months. And then birthday, just to finish paying off my current birthday trip, which is only 1 payment left. While I'm doing this, I do like to reference this. I think what I'm gonna do to make the video more concise is just speed through. I'm gonna take stock and look at how much is my current balance in each one of these priorities. So every single sinking fund, I don't need to see the balance, but my priorities, if I'm saving for a specific amount in that sinking fund, I do want to check the current balance on that so that I know what I need more to get there, if that makes sense. But beauty is gonna be the first one up. It currently has $50 in there. I think I'm gonna need about $150 to get my hair done. So for right now, tentatively, I'm gonna put it in red because this might change. I'm gonna add another $50 in. Health right now has $75 in it, and my goal in this folder is about $350. So I'm gonna also add a $50 into health. Investments, I'm actually not saving a specific amount, but what I do need to check is my phone and make sure I have enough to cover my bill, which is coming up soon. So investments, I'm actually going to take the priority marker off. I'm going to put an up arrow to say that I want to save a lot in there, but if I can't, it's okay. But for right now, I guess I'll put a $20 tentatively in investments, and if I can put more than that, I will come back to it. Education, I need enough to cover my payment for my student loan as well as the balance on my accounts, plus any more because I have another class I need to pay for. So it currently has $80 in there. My student loan payment is $75, $76, and my balance payment is $60. So let's pull out the calculator. 75, I'll do it 76 plus 60 is 136 minus 80. I need another $56 in there. So honestly, I'll go ahead and put 56 in here just to have the minimum amount needed this month. And that'll be in red as well because this will be solid. 56 is the minimum I'm putting in here. Okay, my phone bill is about $110. I'm trying to get my student status updated on there so I get another discount on there. But my phone bill is about $110. I have $75 in there right now. So I will be adding another, I'll be adding $35 into phone bill, and I'll leave that as a solid amount. So I'm going to do it in black. Registration. They increased the registration amount in Tennessee. It used to be about $120, $110. It is now $170, which I found out because someone at my job was talking about how much it costs to renew hers. And I was like, girl, what? So I did go online to look, and it is indeed now $170. So I currently have $90 in there. So 170 minus 90 is 80. And I think I have, until the end of May, I think I'll have 3 more paychecks before that. So 80 divided by 3 is 26.6. 3 or 4 more paychecks, honestly. Let me see if I can actually see how many more paychecks I have. I will have 4 more paychecks. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add $20 each of my 4 paychecks before registration is due. So $20, and that'll just be a solid thing until it's due. Vacation. Y'all, I have so many vacation expenses coming up. I'm just going to be throwing as much money as possible. I currently have $102 in there. So I'm going to put $98 tentatively on here. And if I can increase it, it will be increased. I'm gonna do it in red just in case I can increase that amount. And that'll put the folder at $200 at least. My final payment for my birthday trip is gonna be $165. I currently have $50 in there. Oh, that is not great. Let's see, I'll put 75 in, I think. Or no, I'm gonna tentatively do 50. And then from here, I'm gonna add all of these numbers up. Okay, so I started with 608 and then minus 170 for my wallet left me with 438 for my sinking funds. Let's quickly see how much will this leave me at. Okay, this will only leave me at $59 more. So what I think I will do, I'm gonna pull beauty back just a little bit. So for right now, I'm only gonna put 35 in beauty. So that'll add $15 more to my pot. And then the rest, I'll go ahead and solidify. So I'm just gonna change the color. Knowing that I have $74 left, let's just divvy up the rest. So I'm gonna put 10 into daily fun. That leaves me with 64. I'm gonna put 15 into entertainment, which will leave me at 49. I'll just put 5 in clothing. I don't have anything I need to buy that I know of, which will leave me at 44. For wish list and hobbies, I do that as a combined total. So for right now, I'm gonna do 29 in here. Or no, I'm gonna do 24 in here, which leaves me with $20. And so I'm gonna put 10 in car and then 10 in gifts. And that is my budget for this paycheck. I guess I can go back, or let me fill in these numbers so we can do some nice calculations. So health, I'm gonna total up health plus my SoFi account. So I'm putting $50 towards my health and then $30 towards SoFi, which is gonna be $80 going to health this week. Then I'm gonna put sinking funds, 608 minus 170 is 518. Wait, was that correct? When I tell y'all I literally hate this calculator, it's not an exaggeration. Y'all, I'm gonna switch this out for my phone. I actually can't. Okay. Okay, yeah. So sinking funds got 438. And then education. Okay, it stopped recording, but I don't think y'all missed anything. But I have about 30% of my paycheck going towards debt. I have about 18% of my paycheck going towards savings. I have about 4% of my paycheck going towards education. I have about 6%. It's 5.89% going towards health. And then finally, I'm just going to do my sinking funds. I have about 32% going towards that. So this is my budget for this week. I hope this video was helpful insight into how I work my budget. As y'all kind of saw, in my mind, when I'm starting to build my budget, I always start with my major priorities, which are debt, health, and savings. So that's why debt is one of the number one things. Health, so fitness, this gets it a little later, but my fitness always is that priority because it's those recurring payments that I need to make on time. And then savings is also a major priority. And then from there, I go to what I know I'm going to spend every week. And some of this is a little more discretionary, like shopping. Obviously, that doesn't need $15 every bi-weekly paycheck. But at the same time, it's only getting $15 every bi-weekly paycheck. So I always like to give myself a little leeway because I know myself. I am a shopper. I like to go into Five Below. I like to go into Dollar Tree, and I like to browse, and there's nothing wrong with that. But as long as you're budgeting for it, you don't have to feel guilty about it, and that's my number one thing. I love a little luxury. I think everyone likes a little luxury, but I'm also like just the type of person, I like knickknacks. I like to like, you know, just get random stuff. So I don't need to be going into like stores where I'm going to be spending at least $50. I can go into Dollar Tree, do a little browsing, and be satisfied. And so that's what that's really for, to prevent me from shopping on a bigger scale. And then my wish list, that also helps because those bigger ticket items that I do really want, I have to put them on my wish list, and I have to wait until that money is actually saved before I can buy it. Whereas that's just like on the fly, like I'm randomly out and I want something. So this money up here, even though it is a little more discretionary, I call this my money that keeps me sane. Some of it, like gas, that's not a discretionary expense, but the rest of them, they could be edited, but it is what keeps me sane and keeps me motivated to save the more money for my more bigger goals, if that makes sense. And then from there, I do go to those bigger goals. I figure out what is like needing number one right now. I mark those, and then I allocate money for that first. And if I need to go back and edit it based on my budget, I will. But that's kind of how I work it. And then whatever is remaining gets the leftover money. So I hope y'all really enjoyed seeing my full process. I think last video, because I had already worked this out and then just was kind of copying it down, y'all didn't really see the full extent of how I go through this. But if you have this budget template and you're wondering how to incorporate it in your own life, take this video, write down every single category you may be spending towards, and then just figure out what your priorities on the sheets are and bounce from those. But yes, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, and subscribe. But yeah, thank y'all. Thank you so much. Bye.